Welcome to the SFL. I'm Cameron Irvine, lead play-by-play man and commissioner of the First Football eSport League, and this extensive guide will help you find everything you need to get the full SFL experience, or the experience you want. The first step to learning more about the league is on SFL Interactive, the multimedia hub of our website. Head to simulationfl.net and click on the Interactive tab in the menu. Once you're there, create your profile and receive your first 10 points. They'll show up in the upper right-hand corner. Points can be used to pay for anything from player progression to photo galleries and so much more coming soon. On SFL Interactive, you can watch exclusive league content like behind-the-scenes footage and videos, amazing plays, and classic games. You can also watch live games every Sunday night and participate in live lotteries, which can net you more free points. Back on Discord, introduce yourself in the Introductions channel to receive permissions. Tell us how you found us, who you are, and what you're interested in. From here, you can message team owners and general managers and inquire about joining the live stats, beat writing, multimedia, or broadcast teams, and hunt for your future home on the field. There are two ways to get on a team, either as an undrafted free agent or through the rookie draft. If you join in the months of April, May, October, or November, you qualify for the rookie draft right away, since rosters are locked during these months while the league wraps up seasonal competition and teams are re-signing or signing veteran players. If you join in any other month, becoming an undrafted free agent is your most likely route. Either option can net you success. If you're going into the rookie draft, a little bit of everything can go a long way in a competitive field. Make an impression by purchasing or gaining your points for player progression in advance. Earn a high chat ranking and show your desire and professionalism in the community chat rooms and in private messages with teams. Join a league staff, team, or contribute to the league's general fund. Drafts are held at the beginning of every June and December. If you're going to get scooped up as an undrafted free agent, your chat ranking determines what type of opportunities you could have. To find out if there are any recent openings on teams, check the player openings section of Discord. If all rosters are full, don't be discouraged. Opportunities come up all the time, and it may just be the perfect fit to start your career. Every offseason, you're able to start completely from scratch if you want, or you can negotiate a new deal with your current team or a different squad. Games are broadcast Sundays through Tuesdays on our SFL networks on Twitch, YouTube, and Fuel. While you're subscribing to those feeds, make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and give us some love on Instagram. If you need or want to talk to league staff, we're always listed in gold at the top right of the member list in Discord when we're online, and we'll always try to assist you or make time for you as best we can. That's the Simulation Football League, and that's just the start. Thanks for being here to make an impact. I can't wait to call your name.
And returning it back the other way is Jack Burton, and Carolina has a touchdown on a pick six.
Spins out of a sack, throws it to the back of the end zone. He's got his man. Touchdown.
So they're like, oh, well, we need real players. Like, oh, okay. So you need a quarterback? Sure.
He's up to the 30. He's gone, baby. My goodness. Somebody cool off that man's feet because they're on fire.
Throw. King wants it all now, and it's caught! Oh! Touchdown, Chicago!
Unbelievable play! That's got to be number one this week, and we just got started!
People like immersing themselves and all the buildup that goes in with that.
This is going to explode big time.
The SFL Network on Twitch welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Welcome to Charleston, South Carolina, everybody. We're live and ready for kickoff action here, where you have the 1-1 Charleston Predators hosting the 2-0 Chicago Wildcats. Charleston coming to this game with a great victory over the Sharks in Week 1, but came up short in Week 2. Chicago 2-0 has the league's #1 scoring offense and the league's #1 scoring defense. Who will prevail today? Let's go, Andy. What are your takes for today's game, buddy?
Damon, great to be here with you. We're looking at two teams who are coming in hot. Both teams are trying to get another victory. Both teams are prepared, and we're live from the SFL convention. Both teams have representatives here, and we're ready for quite the game. I expect something big.
Same here, dude. I am really looking to see what the Chicago offense is going to do versus this defense of Charleston.
Yeah, it should be a battle. Both offenses and both defenses, they're kind of built flip-flop. Charleston likes to run the ball. Chicago likes to throw it. It's interesting to see how both teams will react.
There's the coin toss.
Charleston wearing the blue. I like the uniforms. They're bright. They're vibrant. They're at home, and it's going to be a good battle for them coming here in week 3.
Looking good. Looking good.
Well, we're live from the SFL convention, Damon. Plenty of people here in the crowd. Alan, the owner of the Charleston Predators, is here, and Shan, the owner of the Chicago Wildcats, was here, and I think he is there in the back. So, you know, we got two owners going head-to-head. They're going to butt heads on the field and in the conference room here.
My question is, we have live camera action here. Why are the owners in the back, not in front row center?
Yeah,
we want to see the owners.
That's
reenacting.
true. We need Shan and Allen right up front here for this one.
And here we have Jesus Garcia. The ball is on the tee. Andy, boot it. We have kickoff live in Charleston, baby. Here's a return from the 10-yard line. There's a juke move. Tackled and brought down at the 31. 27 they're going to call it.
Well, I think, Damon, for Charleston, it's all going to start with Keith Swearingen up top. The running back has led the league in yards through 2 weeks, and it's going to be interesting to see how Chicago wants to attack his run game.
Yeah, Chicago's going to have to really do something with this running back, Keith Swearingen, because his performance from week 1 was just one of the best performances that we've seen, and this wasn't his first time doing that.
Absolutely.
There's a 3 wide receiver set here for Charleston. There's a 5-step drop here by Drew. Drew dumps it off to the halfback, Swearingen. He's pulled down at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that was a nice play there by Blake B. Craze, and interesting to see him, you know, coming over now in a new team and a new system, and I really love what he's done with the Wildcats. Shan has been using him quite a bit, and now, as you see in the top left, we got the owners front and center for you, Damon. Ask and you shall receive.
Thank you so much. There's a handoff here to Swearingen up the middle of the field.
Oh!
Hit hard after picking up a few yards. Brought down, looks like by Craze again.
Yeah, Chicago has the two linebackers in the middle, Craze and Clint Hendershot, both of which are going to be putting in a shift today to try and bring down Keith Swearingen.
3rd and 5 here in Charleston. First drive here of the first quarter at the 32-yard line of the Predators. 3 wide receivers set. No tight end on the play. That's a 1-step drop here by Drew, and Drew goes across the middle. That pass is incomplete.
It was a quick throw. Drew was trying to get it right on the numbers of the receiver on the quick slant. Looked like could have been an X-hot route there, and it just didn't get brought in for the catch, and Chicago gets a good stand on the first opening drive. I think that's a statement.
I think so as well, Andy. Then when you got a big Craze covering the playing the outside spot, but he was covering the middle of the field there. I mean, 6'5", 245-pound backer there. I mean, he can scare any receiver coming across the middle.
Yeah, it's about half as tall as I am, so, you know, he is a pretty tall guy, I guess, but, you know, they get off the field, and they're going to get the ball back here.
Here's the punt over to Chicago. There's the return. The third man is brought down in Chicago, 35-yard line, where they're going to take the first possession.
Yeah, and for Chicago's offense, it's the exact opposite of Charleston's. I'm looking more towards the pass game. What can E.T. King bring, and how does this Charleston secondary, who do you stop? I mean, when you have Shan Varner, Torres, Simons, and Corey Carter, you got to pick someone to guard and someone to be open.
And they're loaded on offense. 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and Ash on the halfback. Here's E.T. King underneath the center. King on a 5-step drop, dumps it off to the receiver to the top of the field, picks up 4 yards on that reception there. And that is J.C. Torres with his first reception today.
Yeah, comfortable 4-yard. And essentially what that play, Damon, was when they ran more people deep. The option wasn't there. It's a great job by E.T. King to check down, not force anything way too early in the game. I mean, we still got 9.5 minutes to go in the first. You can't make a mistake this early.
Absolutely. Making a mistake this early can really turn the table, especially for if you're the away team. That's something that you don't want to do. Here's King, handoff here to the halfback, and he gets the first down. Bulldoze forward, give it up to Ash Odom there. And it has been stated that Shan Varner has been trying to get Ash Odom to come to Chicago for quite some time, and now he finally got this guy.
Yeah, you're right there. Odom coming over, has played for Queen City, has played for the Alaska Storm, now a Chicago Wildcat, bowls forward for that first down.
Press coverage here by the Predators. And there's a handoff to Odom up the middle of the field, and he's not going to get the first down, but he does pick up 4, Andy.
Yeah, and that's right on pace for the first down across 3 plays. So for Shan Varner and the Wildcats, you're comfortable with that 4-yard carry. If you're the Predators, you still are doing a pretty good job. Essentially what you need is 1 stop.
There's a look at Hate. Too bad we couldn't put "He Hate Me" on the back of his jersey.
I don't think Andrew was going to let that happen.
No, he would not. Power I formation here now for the Wildcats. Here's a handoff here to Odom. Odom up the middle of the field. Odom is brought down after picking up 6 yards on the play.
Yeah, it was a good job by Charleston to swarm as quick as they could. When you have a lot of those running backs and fullbacks in the field, it kind of becomes a parade of bodies there, Demond, in the middle, and everyone's just trying to hit someone, and Ash Odom is a smaller back, kind of hides behind everyone.
My apologies, that was 4 carries on the ground there by Odom. Press coverage once again by this defense. And King is brought down. He's hit hard, baby. He's going to lose all of that yardage they just gave. Oh, and the defense is flexing their muscles, hitting home runs out of this ballpark. My goodness.
Sam Lance, the defensive end, just comes around here, and King actually moves, and if it wasn't going to be Lance, it was going to be Jack Brown, the outside linebacker on the blitz. Lance is the one who gets to him. King has to fold, and I don't necessarily hate the decision, Damon, because he could have forced something deep down the field, could have got picked off. Like we said, we're very early in this game. The last thing you want to do is write yourself off with a mistake.
Totally agree with you, Andy. And that's what you're absolutely right. You can't force passes downfield into, coverage. Sometimes you just have to eat those sacks.
Yeah.
Return man brought down at the 20-yard line of Charleston. On that return was Lance Dulake. We have to look up and see if Dulake is from France. We'll get back with you on that one. 3 wide receiver set here for for Drew. Swearingen on an offset. Single back formation. Here's a handoff into Swearingen. Got open field. Tries a stiff arm. Picks up 9. 2nd and 1 now for the Charleston Predators.
It was a little slow developing. The guard was going to pull there and actually got caught up on the center, who was immediately bum rushed by the defensive line. But after they got outside, man, they had nothing but green grass. Lucky for Chicago that Maurice Spurgeon could come down and make the play.
Great blocking by the guys up front who doesn't get much credit for the things that they do. There's a handoff into Swearingen once again. Tries to get skinny. Picks up the first down, though, but he had open field up the middle. I guess he saw something totally different than what we saw up in the booth.
It's a little bit different when you're down on the field level. I tell you what, 6'1", 245, a little bit hard to get skinny in there, Damon, but he tried.
Yeah, especially when you got broad shoulders as this guy does. I tell you one thing, Charleston has been in this 3 wide receiver set. They must love it. 4-2 nickel formation for the defense. They're playing off cover 3. There's an out route to the top of the field. That pass is completed. Picked up 4 yards on that reception.
Yeah, and I think what Charleston is trying to do here is spread out Chicago, take as many linebackers off the field for Swearingen as they can, and at least on this drive, it's looking to work a little bit, where they're really relying on Hendershot as well as Blake B. Craze to guard all of the receivers for Charleston. You know, they have 2 receivers and a tight end as well, so lots of weapons on this Predators offense too.
Another 3 wide spread. There is a tight end on the play. 2 tight ends, matter of fact. Drew almost throws a tip. Oh, what a play by the defense. Coming away with that pass deflection. Drew got to be excited that that one's not picked off. He's able to get the ball back for his offense.
Well, I tell you what, not picked off, but it was almost caught as well. We're going to look at the replay here. Look, almost a catch, now almost a pick. Everyone had their chance at that ball, Damond. I was warming my hands up in case it got batted up here in the booth.
I think you would have caught it, Andy.
I don't know. I'm not very tall. I might have dropped it.
We would have gave you some gloves with a little stickum on it.
Well, Ref 62 probably would have called me out of bounds no matter what, so. We want to thank Kanye Rockefeller, who's subscribed for 16 months in a row. That's incredible.
Thanks, Kanye. One step drop here by Drew. Drew going deep. He got him in. That pass is deflected away.
Well, it looked like he had him. It just fell out of his hands. Maybe the truck will give us a replay. It was Lance DeLake who was the one streaking down the field, and it looked almost like he had the chance to make the play. He almost was a little surprised that the ball had even got to him.
Yeah, I was shocked that he went to DeLake downfield, the Frenchman, as I like to call him.
And it ends the Charleston drive. They're going to have to punt. Chicago gets off the field. Charleston looked like they got the wheels turning a little bit there, but just kind of fell off the tracks down the line.
I think they went more pass happy on this drive. I think they should have stuck with the run a little bit more, at least to pick up the first down or so. Sometimes you have to use the run for your advantage, to get things moving on the offense, get guys going, to get things hot, get that blood boiling.
Absolutely. And now Chicago will take over on the offensive side. Their first drive was not bad. Charleston just made a few plays down the stretch and got off the field. So essentially, DeMond, I feel like these teams are just feeling each other out right now.
Empty shotgun formation. 5 wide receivers on the play here for King. King on a 3-step drop. Throws a corner route. That pass is almost intercepted. Pass intended for Shane Bonner, but deflected by Bravo. Great defensive play there by the youngster.
Yeah, Johnny Bravo was all over that one, and essentially the second-year man from Charleston made a good play. It's a one-on-one ball, and if you're E.T. King or even Shane Bonner, you can't be upset about throwing that one. Sometimes you got to give your receivers a chance, Damon.
Absolutely. How many Cartoon Network fans we have in here? Anybody remember Johnny Bravo's famous line? Whoa, mama. There's a handoff here to Odom, and Odom breaks free. There's a flag on the play. SFL laundry, no MeUndies.
There's some yellow, and I'll be honest with you, DeMond, I don't know what it is, so we're going to let Ref 62 speak here.
Ref 62 has been calling
there it
clipping
is.
for the third game in a row. He has called this penalty. R62, what are you seeing out there? And it's on the Wildcats.
Man, I tell you what, R62's got a long day ahead of him in terms of refereeing games, so sometimes we just got to give him the benefit of the doubt. And yes, I just said that, DeMond, so everyone else should be on board.
It's gracious to hear you give someone a compliment, Andy.
I try.
4 wide receivers set here for this pass-happy offense.
Second in a country mine.
King goes deep, cross the field. He got Bonner.
Look out, get out of the
Down
way.
to the 20, the 10. Oh, no! Came up short from crossing Hollywood Boulevard, unable to make it.
I am amazed. It was a wonderful catch and run from J.C. Torres, but Buchanan Simons, get out of the way! You're not in the play. You don't have the ball. Watch this, Damon. Makes the catch, and Simons is in his way. Move. Fall down. It doesn't matter. You're in the way. I don't know if Shan has been running sprints at practice and these guys are used to racing each other or what, but Simons just needs to fall over at that point.
I have to agree with you. I think that's what happened.
Hey, I trust a hurdle a little bit more than a guy in the way, Michael.
Strong power Jokers formation here now for Chicago. Got to give it to Odom here on the 4-yard line, and they're going to do that. There's a pull by the guard, and he doesn't block anyone on this play. He's just in the way.
Man, I tell you what, Chicago's getting pretty good at getting in the way. That's 2 plays in a row, Damon.
Odom's going to come up short on that run. Going to be second and goal from the 6. Loses 2 yards on that play, Andy.
Yep, Stephen Hacker at home doing stats for us. 83 yards for E.T. King on 3 throws and 2 completions.
Almost more than Newton had in the first half. There's a touchdown run there by Ash Odom. Get him on the board as he crosses Hollywood Boulevard.
5th carry for Ash Odom, 2nd rushing touchdown of the SFL season. Chicago has 5 on the air, but they put their 2nd one on the ground, and it's the dagger that puts 6 points on the board for the Wildcats. And the Predators were really just struck by one big play.
Yeah, they was. I mean, that long pass by King down the middle of the field to Carroll, which hurted the Charleston defense, and lucky enough they was able to come away with the tackle at the 4-yard line, but then they just couldn't get things done on the defensive side here inside of the goal line.
Definitely.
Area. And here's the extra point attempt by Chicago. Oh, and the ball hits the ground, Andy, but he was able to get it up and recover, and the ball is straight down the middle for the extra point. Chicago goes up 7-0 here in Charleston, South Carolina.
I tell you what, the holders can be heroes too, Damon. Sometimes it takes a good holder to bring that ball off the dirt and get it teed up for the kicker.
Well, here, Andy, hold my bottle of water.
No problem. That's what I'm here for.
And there's a kick by Chicago on the return. Will be DeLuke.
Short kick.
I just call him DeLuke. It's the lake. I think because I got Duke, they didn't blue. I got Duke Blue Devils on my mind. I think that's what it is.
Well, I'll try and keep you straight over here, but I can't guarantee anything. I make no promises. Drew coming out, though, 2 of 5, 40% on the day. And really, it's been Shake Harrell who he's targeted, the one catch for him, and 2 targets for Maccaro. Nothing for Sean Harrelson yet today.
3 wide receivers set here. Warrington goes out on the route. And that pass is almost intercepted by Craze. Great defensive coverage by the outside linebacker.
Blake Craze has been having a day today so far, and man, I tell you what, Demond, an interception would have made his day, and we're not even out of the first quarter yet.
Yeah, this game has been pretty good so far. All this has just been basically defensively. Chicago Craze has just been performing, especially covering the middle by outside linebacker. Great job performance by him.
Absolutely.
3 wide receivers set here for Drew. Swearingen on the single back left, and he goes up the middle. Nothing doing. Going to pick up 2 yards. Brought down by a host of Wildcats.
Yeah, Hendershot, Spurgeon was in there, and Swearingen's ground game continues now. His 4th attempt, upwards of 14 yards, so a little bit under pace for him. Does have the 1 catch as well, but like we said earlier, he's kind of the key to Charleston's offense, so I'm interested to see if they get creative with getting him involved later in the game.
Hendershot, the 6-year veteran out of Carolina. Here's Drew, goes an out route. That pass is deflected, and that was A.J. Barnes. This guy's been around for a long time.
Man, how they let A.J. Barnes sit in the flat like that is a dangerous thing for Charleston, because that is not the guy you want to be floating the ball over the head of.
Not that veteran there. I mean, guy has stats beyond stats beyond stats. How about we just call Barnes the stat sheet stuffer?
Yeah, he's got quite a few numbers in his pile up at 6'1", 230, coming over from Tallahassee. Been with Chicago ever since.
Chicago, this team, I don't think Chicago like rookies. They always have a bunch of veterans on their team, which is good because you get guys who have been committed to the league,
right?
You know, for such a long time. You don't have to worry about guys flipping and flopping on you.
Yeah, Shan Varner, I know, I've known him for a while, Demond. I know his motto in life is no new friends.
Maybe that's why he don't call me no more.
Well, that depends. Are you an old friend or a new friend?
I think I was an old one, but something
But now
happened.
you would be a new one?
You know what? He called me one day, asked for some help about something. I told him I couldn't help him out. We play you this week. Here's a handoff here to Odom, and Odom's going to break 1 tackle, almost breaks another. Caught down at the 40-yard line, 2nd and 5 now.
They're still blocking downfield. The play's been over for 10 minutes. I think Shan Varner talked to him on the sideline. He said too much getting in the way, not enough blocking, so now they're blocking after the play.
You don't stop blocking until after the whistle is blowing, not when it's blown, after it's blown, huh?
Yeah, apparently.
There's a 4-2 nickel defense for Charleston. They're playing press coverage once more, man-to-man defense. 3 wide receivers set here for King. King takes a 2-step drop, steps up in the pocket, and King's got trouble ahead of him as he's sacked and brought down. He's going to lose 6 yards on that play.
And Charleston brought the late blitz. Sam Lance was the one who got to him again, but the linebackers were coming in afterwards, and there was a whole host of Predators that could have made that tackle.
And this Charleston defense is showing me something that I haven't really seen much of, and that's a lot of press coverage here in the SFL. And they're doing a great job because this press coverage is bothering King and his receivers. But he's going to go deep once more. Oh, no! Buchanan Simmons cut off the route, tried to go inside, and he should have stayed outside with it. He probably would have had 6 on the board.
Simons, could just not quite reach that throw. And E.T. King has shown some trouble here with the blitz of Charleston. The pressure that the Predators are putting on is getting to E.T. King. I'm interested to see how that continues, but for now, the Predators are going to get the ball back at a key time in the game. Down by 7, you're not going to want to go down by 2 scores.
Here's the punt here by Perrion. Going to be returning to the 29-yard line. Going to run out to the 32 before he's tackled. And Charleston's got to really get things going here.
Yep.
Really haven't seen much of Swearingen as we would like to.
And I'd be interested to see what Drew has in the passing game. Maybe, here on first down, take a shot. I mean, you've really thrown the ball 7 times and only had the 2 completions. It might catch Chicago a little bit off guard because I know they, would like to plan for Swearingen, the league's leading rusher.
Drew on a 3-step drop, throws an out
There
off
it
the
is.
bottom of the field. That pass is incomplete.
Oh!
Is what they're going to call it. Andy, I think he got the first foot in. McCarroll, that is.
Well, DeMond, it's well known that I'm not an expert about outside throws, but I think that one was in bounds. But for 3 yards, I don't know if it's worth the red hanky.
I'd be surprised if Charleston calls for a challenge here. Looks like they're not.
Allen looks stoic in the crowd. I don't think he wants to throw the flag.
Another 3 wide receiver set. Swearingen in the backfield by himself. Drew throws down the field.
Oh!
Got a reception. And that is the late coming away with another reception. I think this is first.
No, that's his second. Yeah, no, you're right. It is his first. They floated the one on the corner route to him, and he dropped it. This time doesn't drop it. Instead, it's T.D. Drew who's doing the dropping, and he was dropping a dime in the bucket.
And that was a great pass there by Drew. No discredit to him. That was a beautiful pass, and absolutely great coverage by Chicago, but it was just a better pass and catch by the receiver.
It was beautiful. I would have hit on that throw in a bar.
It's a handoff, hit to Swearingen up the middle. Swearingen hit hard. Picks up 2 yards. Looked like Hendershot on the tackle.
5th carry, 16 yards for him today. Has struggled on the ground. Chicago has done a really good job of buttoning that up so far and making sure that Charleston has to have some air game to complement their ground game.
Here's a trip right here for Charleston. 5-step drop here
Pressure.
by Drew. Drew gets it off. Oh, that pass is almost caught by the late. Maurice Spurgeon. What are these guys doing? Spurgeon came in out of nowhere and deflected that ball away. If he gets his hand on it, I don't think there's anyone who's going to catch him.
Yeah, I don't know what Lance DeLake ate for breakfast, but they are feeding that man, and he looks hungry. The problem is he just hasn't been able to catch them all because he hasn't had the reps and the opportunities that some of these star receivers have had.
And it's kind of strange how they're targeting the non-contract players more than they are the contract receivers. And there's a floater right across the middle. And as I was speaking of it, there's a catch there for my main man, Shea Carroll. Comes away with that big first down play.
Man, this was an interesting play here. DeMond Shea actually runs into a defender and is able to go around A.J. Barnes on the slant route. That was another one of those 90X hot kind of power runs or routes right there. Talking is hard sometimes. And Carroll was able to get to the right spot, make the catch, pick up the first down, and Charleston now in field goal range, got to protect the ball.
Here's a trips right here for Drew. Swearingen in the back there, going to give his hand off, and he's going to pick up maybe a yard. Brought down by Craze and Hendershot. Man, these 2 linebackers are really playing some outstanding ball in that second level of the defense.
Yeah, I heard in practice in training camp this year, Shan actually handcuffed those 2 linebackers together to make sure that they're tackling together, and that is showing off today as Swearingen has run into either Hendershot or Craze at all fronts.
And that's the end of the first quarter, folks. Well, the Wildcats are up on top of the Predators, 7-0. Tonight's Simulation Football League broadcast on Twitch TV is presented by APM Productions, Music Library, and Custom Music House, and brought to you in part of by Fuel, Beyond Imagination. Visit the all-new SFLinteractive.net today. Matt Doyle designs the official branding partner of the SFL, and Media Tech. Turn your passion into your profession. Arrow Shots brought to you by ArrowViews, united by Drone. Visit ArrowViews.com to see more drone footage. Charleston in the 3 wide receiver set here once again. There's a handoff here to Swearingen. Swearingen's going to get skinny. Picks up a few yards. 3rd and 4 now for the Predators.
That was a good run right up the middle. Was able to get off the hip pocket of the guard and kind of make a man miss. And it was a good pickup, and it makes for a very manageable 3rd and 4 here from the Chicago 18. I'd like to see them run maybe a 5 or a 7-yard route here. Don't go for the end zone just yet. Just pick up the first down, keep this drive alive.
I totally agree with you. Keep this defense on the field. There's a 2-step drop here by Drew. Drew throws a sidearm play right across the middle. What a reception. And that is to the tight end, Sean Harrelson. Great play there to bring that in coverage.
Man, Shan Varner and Sean Harrelson are old buddies, but Sean gets the best of Shan here with a nice little in-cutting route and a good throw by T.D. Drew, his 5th completion of the day, and it's good for a first down to the Chicago 6. Now, DeMond, it's time to cap the drive off, and the question is 3 or 6 points.
You got to come away with 6 here. 3 is not going to get it done. There's Swearingen up the middle, brought down by Craze. My goodness, this is a hungry linebacker here, and I think he's hungry for running backs.
Hey, starving it looks like, because he's been all over the field so far. Something about Charleston, they've only actually thrown for 1 touchdown. Every other touchdown has come via the ground game. Interesting to see whether Chicago has kind of put that in their playbook in their design for the week, or whether they are thinking that Drew might look to fire a throw into the end zone here.
4-2 nickel defense here for the Chicago defense. And there's a swing pass to Swearingen. He's going to pick up only a yard on it. Brought down by a gang of Wildcats. Looks like Maurice Spurgeon on the play, as well as Craig Sierensky.
I tell you what, here on 3rd and goal from the 4, I think you got to fire into the end zone, DeMond. You got to take a chance here to even up the score instead of settling for 3. I know it's early, maybe a slant route.
Absolutely, there's one across the middle of the field, but he goes to the back of the end zone, and the pass is tipped away by Greg Gaines. Great defensive play there by the cornerback, knocking that ball away.
Yeah, Gaines, a great player. Actually played in Oklahoma City, and I know Shan Varner set out in the offseason to acquire Gaines, and that's the reason right there. He's a playmaker, gets his hands on the ball when he needs to, and Charleston is going to have to settle for a field goal attempt.
Comes the offseason, you got to hide your veterans away from Varner because he likes stealing people players.
Yeah, that is why all my players have been given a free beer at this convention to keep them away from Shan.
Oh, absolutely. And there's the extra point, 21-yarder right down the middle. It puts Charleston on the board. Doesn't tie the game.
No, it doesn't tie it, but definitely cuts into the lead. And, you know, it is early, 9:03 left to go in the second. Points are points, DeMond. I'll take as many as I can get, and if 3 is all you can get, hey, 3 is what you got. Their defense looked good on the last drive, shutting down the Wildcats. As long as they keep that secondary sharp and don't let E.T. King go over the top, they're in good shape.
Yeah, exactly. We cannot allow them to beat the defense like they did on that first scoring possession of Chicago. Keep putting pressure on them. Oh, nice spin move there. Keep putting pressure on them. Ivy, his own blitz that you're backing up with man coverage by these cornerbacks.
Yeah, Corey Carter had a little bit of a dance move there. Gets Chicago out to the 31. Decent field position to start this drive.
Yeah, starting off at the 31-yard line. Anytime you can get past the 30 on a return, there's always excellent field position on that special teams play there. There's the defense calling out plays. Hey, I see this. I saw it on film last week. Looks like they're going to bring a blitz from the bottom of the field. And the 33 defense is Charleston. They do bring blitz. King step up in the pocket. It's picked off. Charleston comes away with a turnover.
Man, I tell you what, Caledon Holly was all over that one, DeMond. And Gamer King 50 in the chat says, I've never heard of this. Well, have you heard of an interception? Because there's one from Caledon Holly right across the middle. And E.T. King on the move tried to float one. And I think the veteran will think twice next time when he gets some pressure.
I bet he will, and that's one thing you can't do. You can't throw floaters across the middle of the field. You're asking for something to happen negative for you.
Yeah, and now Charleston takes over. I mean, those 3 points look pretty good when you got the ball back right afterwards, don't they?
Absolutely. Now you can go up by 3 points if you can get into the end zone here. There's a 3 wide receiver set here for Drew. Drew on a 7-step drop. Reads the coverage. Go!
Oh, we're going the other way.
Over. Throws another pick himself, and that is Greg Gaines. who made the big play on the last possession of Charleston by deflecting in the back of the end zone, comes away with the interception here.
Man, I tell you what, TD Drew says anything you can do, I can do worse. I'll give it right back to Chicago, and gains an interception there, and Chicago gains the ball back via the cornerback. We're going back and forth, and I tell you what, Damon, I hope we don't go 3 for 3, because otherwise this is just going to be a long day.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy day. 33 defense once again here for Charleston. They are showing a little press coverage, not too far up. Probably in a soft zone cover 2. There's a pass across the middle. Looks like to Ash Odom. Odom breaks free. Picks up more yards as he hit forward out to the 44-yard line of Chicago. What a play there by Ash Odom coming across the middle of the field.
Man, I tell you what, sometimes all you got to do, Demond, is get the ball to your back in some space. It's not a beautiful route. I mean, he runs into Shan Varner a little bit there, but look, once he turns upfield, he gets a great seal block. Wow, unbelievable scenes there from J.C. Torres, who just seals the edge, blocked 3 guys, turned around, got another one in the back. I tell you what, man, down on the other play, Simons was in the way of Torres, but now Torres is showing he's got some blocking.
A great play there by the receiver, Torres. The blocks there. Here's King getting pressure. Throws a wobble ball across the middle of the field. It's picked up again by this Charleston defense. My goodness, what a play. And that is the Paul Connolly.
Man, Connolly stuck with Charleston as they moved from Indianapolis, and an overthrow here by E.T. King. And I tell you what, the SFL convention must be handing out free interceptions, Demond. What does it take to get my hands on one of these errant throws?
I know. I tell you one thing. They throw one up here in the booth, we're catching it.
I almost caught a fly just there.
Empty backfield now for the Charleston Predators. 4 wide receiver set and a tight end.
Oh,
my! What a hit! What a hit by the great defensive lineman. That's Kevin Owens.
Man, Owens came up the middle with some force. Someone hurt that man as a child. All right, here we go. 2nd and a mile.
Wow, 2nd and 15 at Charleston's 36-yard line. Looks like they got to get to the other side of the field for the first down. There's Drew. Got the first down on that play.
The referee was in the way. The Charleston Predators are bullying our refereeing crew because they used him as a blocker there. But, hey, I tell you what, it worked. Ken Maccaro found the room. We're going to watch the replay here. Ref 43 just gets caught up in the action. He was not prepared for that. They did not teach him that at orientation.
Ref 43 looks like the referee from The Longest Yard. It was just you got to protect the McNuggets. Oh, there's an offside there. Offside there by the Chicago defense.
Man, I tell you what, Shan Varner, it looks like on the camera, is giving himself a hug, and I tell you what, that's what penalties will make you do. You need some comfort after situations like that because you can't give up free yardage like that.
I love the resting pillow he has right there on his stomach.
Oh, my. For anyone listening in the chat, we don't usually bully the people at the convention. You're welcome to come, and we'll be very nice to you. But Demond and Shan have known each other for a while, so those jokes apparently are on game.
I love you, Varner.
Oh, man.
1st and 5 here for Charleston. There's a handout to Swearingen. Swearingen's going to pick up 3 yards on that carry before it being brought down by Hendershot.
Well, I tell you what, Kanye Rockefeller earlier in the chat asked if we were day drinking. I haven't been, Demond, but I don't know if you have, if you're just going to keep firing shots at Shan.
No, I haven't had any drinks at all today. I had a few yesterday, maybe more than I should have.
No, I didn't.
There's a handout. Handout to Swearingen, and the Chicago defense comes up big on that defensive play.
Man, Blake Craze again. I tell you what, I don't know what Shan is feeding these linebackers, but I'm going to need some of that for myself.
I need some as well, man. I think it's gunpowder with blood mixed in it.
All right, I'm not going to eat that then. I will pass on that.
Yeah, that's what they feed pit bulls.
I was looking for maybe like a nice parfait.
There's a handoff to Swearingen. Swearingen picks up the
down.
first down.
Man,
basically all you need to keep the sticks moving.
I tell you what, when you're a running back, sometimes that yellow line can haunt you, but Swearingen makes sure he gets the ball over it and picks up the yardage needed. Time has been rolling through this second quarter, DeMond, and this Charleston drive has been eating a lot of this clock.
And that's one thing you have to do. You have to eat the clock. You want to win at the time of possession, but you want to make scoring drives.
Yeah, you definitely want points.
Why are you doing that as well? Another 3 wide receivers set here for Charleston. Handoff here for Swearingen. And Hender's shot shows up big right at the line of scrimmage, and he gets up and flexes muscles. My goodness, what a defensive play.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gunpowder and blood or what, but Hendershot has definitely been eating whatever Shan Varner's been feeding him, and he's been eating tackles all over Keith Swearingen, who now is up to 12 attempts for 28 yards. Stephen Hacker has been doing our stats and been doing a great job, even though he is not at the convention, DeMond, so we want to make sure we shout out him and appreciate the work he's doing.
Appreciate you on that. Here's Drew. Drew throws a dart across the middle of the field. Got a reception, but he's paid for it.
Down to the 22. It was a nice throw, nice catch, and this is an important drive here for Charleston. They got to figure out whether they're going to pick up 3 or more points or if they're going to come up empty. For Chicago, they want to get a stop here, but that was a nice catch there by Shea Carroll.
Yeah, Shea Carroll came up big on that reception there. Look at Swearingen numbers, only averaging 2.4 yards a carry. No, his numbers are normally better than that. But this Chicago defense is one of the best in the league. And there's Swearingen in the middle.
My.
Get a spear from Goldberg up the middle of the field. My goodness.
Man, A.J. Barnes just put shoulder to stomach there, and I'm surprised Swearingen is up so quickly. I would have been down for the count.
A.J. Barnes is one of the great veterans here in this league, man, and it reminds me of the character in Born Supremacy. I guess no one caught that.
We did. We just didn't think it was funny.
My feelings are hurt, Andy.
Like I said, we don't make fun of people at the SFL convention. We're all friendly people. Oh, man. All right, so third and 1 from the 13, and I think it's important here, DeMond, to point out this is a pivotal play right here. If Chicago can get off the field and hold Charleston to 3 after that turnover, this is going to be big for the Wildcats.
Yeah, as you stated earlier, on this drive, they've been having the ball for such a long time, and they're basically eating the clock. Here's a 2-step drop here by Drew. Drew throws it out right to the bottom of the field, got a reception, and it's Carroll once again.
Man, I tell you what, Charleston has been working the middle, the outside of the field. They've been running up the gut. They have really been painting all ends of the field with Charleston blue, trying to get everyone involved and get down the field, especially on this drive. McCarroll, Harrelson, Carroll, as well as Swearingen. Everyone's kind of had the ball in their hands, and I think that's what Charleston needs to keep doing. Now TD Drew up to 50% completions.
They're doing a great job on this drive. I mean, best drive I've seen them do all season long. There's another en route, and he picks up the touchdown. Oh, my goodness. McCarroll crosses Hollywood Boulevard. Touchdown for the Charleston Predators.
Well, McCarroll has been on 3 teams, London, Denver, now Charleston, and he's found the end zone at every location he's been in, and he does so right here. It takes 4 Wildcats in the area, but it doesn't matter. McCarroll, when you're that close to the goal line, you reach the ball over and you get in, you get 6, and now the Predators take the lead.
Great drive here by the Predators. You got to give them credit, man. That was just just a phenomenal drive by this offense. Game planning, as you stated, they target every area on the field.
Absolutely.
Outside, across the middle, quick slants.
Yep.
You saw basically every route in the route tree on this drive.
Yeah, absolutely. They've definitely been making sure the receivers are running the routes they need to, as well as Swearingen did a decent job on that drive of picking up the yardage that they needed. He didn't do anything superb, but he was definitely there and running all over the field. His long today is 9, DeMond, and Ash Odom is similar. His long rush for the day is 7, so I'm interested to see. I anticipate by the end of the day a back will have a breakout run. It'll just depend on which one it is.
And me, as a play caller and so forth, I love seeing long run plays by the running back.
Here's a long run.
Another juke move. Oh, my! Oh, he almost takes it to the house. Brought down at the 43-yard line.
Man, Corey Carter, I tell you what, in the return game, really has ignited on that run the Chicago offense here because, I mean, it's a good kick. It's deep down the field. He's bringing it out from the 10, and look at these moves, DeMond. Look, one shift, there's a spin, and then he almost got away from that one. And usually when you see a long kick return, it's out to the outside. It's not through a middle of a pack like that.
Yeah, that juke and spin move, wow, just juking people. And it becomes very deadly on a return.
Yeah, absolutely.
3 wide receivers set here for King. Odom in the fullback in the backfield as well.
Pressure.
King has time, but he steps up and oh no, he's going to be brought down by a Charleston defender.
Well, and that's one thing that the Predators have done really well is attacked E.T. King, force him to be uncomfortable on these throws, and I'm not sure that's something that E.T. King is used to seeing, now falling to 3 for 7, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. They did have the long throw, but it did get tackled short, so King in an unusual situation, but he's been here before. We'll see how he reacts.
King throws a strike, causes the field. Looks like Torres comes away with that reception.
It's more comfortable there. Torres having a great day, not only in the receiving game, but the blocking game, and they're going to have to utilize him just like they're doing here. You know, pick up some yards. You don't need everything, and you know, get what you can to make it a more manageable third down. It's a good catch by him. You know as a receiver going across the middle, you're going to take a hit like that. You just have to accept it.
Exactly. You have to brace yourself. There's a 2-minute warning, people.
120 seconds to go in the second quarter, first half of this game, and I tell you what, Damon, so far it's been a grind. Neither team has really stepped out and took a hold of this one. It's really been back and forth, and for a great convention crowd, you love to see it.
3 wide receivers set here for Chicago. Ash Odom in the backfield by himself. King underneath the center, take a one-step drop, throws an out route to the bottom of the top of the field. That pass is going to be completed, but not enough for the first down, Shane. Buchanan just couldn't come up with it because the defense was all over his back.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Shan's telling him there on the field. Simon's, cut down prior to being, far enough. And essentially what, Chicago did, or what Charleston did, was stop Chicago just short of field goal range down at midfield. They're going to have to punt it away back to Charleston. And I'm looking in the chat here, Demond. Is this accurate, Cam? It looks like the highest amount of bits that we've received today is 300. Is that it? Optimus Klein's 300 bits is the bits leader. If anyone either at the convention or at home has bits, here's your chance to be on top of the bits pile.
I know your name is Shan and not Shane. I call you Shane at times.
We're having a bit of a confused identity problem here at the SFL convention, but we'll get it all under wraps. I know one thing, Charleston has the ball back at the 16.
Absolutely. 1st and 10 here for this Predators offense. Did he drew under the center, takes a 2-step drop, dumps it off to Swearingen, and he's going to be hit before he crosses the line of scrimmage. He's drawing off.
A.J. Barnes involved in that play as well with Elmore. They've been, all over Keith Swearingen today, making sure that he, doesn't get any extra yards that he needs, and they've really been limiting it.
2nd and 10 here for the Predators. Swearingen in the single back formation. Drew underneath the center. Defense in the 4-2 nickel. There's a bomb down the field, and Drew come up short. Gaines with the deflection.
Gaines again? Well, talk about making an early run for player of the game. Gaines has been all over the field.
That he has. 2 big pass deflections and an INT himself.
Yeah.
Talk about some great defense.
Well, I tell you what, I think Shan Varner's happy with the decision to bring Gaines over in the offseason. And I think that's just a testament, Damon. Sometimes moving to a new system can make an impact.
Absolutely. Some players are system players.
Absolutely.
1-step drop here by Drew. Dumps it off to Swearingen in the flats, and Swearingen's going to hit by Craze after picking up 3 yards on that reception. They're going to force the punt here now.
Craze as well coming over from another team. So 2 guys who have kind of shifted to this Chicago defense and have had a big impact on the Wildcats season so far. So it'll be interesting to see here. We got 31 seconds left in the second. It's 4th and 7. So Chicago gets off the field. They're going to get the ball back, and we'll see what this punt does, Demond. But Chicago is going to have some decent field position, barring anything crazy.
Yeah, but let's see what E.T. King comes out and do. I'm pretty sure. Oh, that pass is great pressure by Chicago there. Here's a return man. He catches the ball. Should have called for a fair catch there because we have seen fumbles on special teams today that just could have just went opposite totally.
Absolutely. Michael Torillo subscribing with a subscription 6 months in a row, Damon. We've written a lot of good subscriptions today, but like I said, the bits are low, man. Gravy 38 holds the third spot with 15 bits.
Well, thank you, Torillo, for subscribing for another 6 months here to the Simulation Football League on Switch. Here's King going deep to Varner. Got a reception there.
And they're going to run hurry up here. Varner, the big tight end, gets his mitts on it. That's a great catch.
Varner, where's the number 88? Part of the 88 club. Here's the handoff into Odom, and Odom's going to be hit and brought down at the 36-yard line. Timeout by the Wildcats of Chicago. 2nd and 5 now. From
here, it would be a 52-yarder if I'm doing my math correctly, and I'm probably not. But 52 yards, that's a long way. I wouldn't be surprised to see him run a quick out or something here. They do have the one timeout left.
They're going to try to attempt the 52-yarder, Andy, here. Let's see.
Well, Shan, you better start praying. Let's see what he's got.
Actually, it's going to be 53.
Jesus
Garcia. No, you're good. Jesus Garcia with the kick. It's right down the middle, Shan, but he comes up short. Didn't have enough leg on it.
Well, I tell you what, whatever he's been feeding those linebackers for all of their strength, he needs to start feeding the kicker too, Damon, because that one was just a bit shy of the upright, and the referee almost had to duck there.
Yeah, he almost hit the referee right in the head. Could have been bad for that guy.
Well, one play left in the first half, and we'll give it to Marcus Dunhill. 600 bits comes in and takes over the top spot. Marcus to the rescue. He's here and going to be rooting for the Swarm later.
Thank you, Marcus Dunhill, for those 600 bits.
Hail Mary time.
Here's Drew. Drew with a pump fake.
Throw it.
Going to get pressured, brought down, tackled by Gaines, looks like. That is Gaines. Gaines has an INT. 2 pass deflection.
Unbelievable.
A sack. This guy's playing all over the field.
Well, talk about having maybe a defensive MVP candidate. If we were just going off today, he would be the guy.
Absolutely. It's crazy to see the cornerback on a cornerback blitz on a Hail Mary formation.
You never see it. Never see it. But that's the end of the first half, man. Great first half between the two teams.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw Charleston come away with great time possession. As we see here, they're up 14 minutes to 7 of Chicago. Passing game, almost pretty similar. The rushing game is neck and neck.
Oh, here we go. Now we've got it started in the chat, Damon. Plague 7 has subscribed. Mello Taylor with his subscription. 16 months for Plague, 6 for Mello, and then Plagues comes in again. 1,000 bits, and he jumps to the top of the leaderboard. We might be seeing a competition keep going, Damon.
Thanks for the appreciation here, guys, on the bits and the subscribing here to the SFL. We're loving it.
Mr. 23 is angry at me because apparently he subscribed and it didn't come up. No shout out for you, Mr. 23.
Yeah, Mr. 23 probably hit that submit button one more again.
You can just send in 100 bits and we'll shout you out as well. But 7-10 at the half. I think both teams have played a really good half. The only problem for both teams has kind of been essentially if they get a sack or something on a drive, it kind of stunts them. They're not working well in the third, second, first, and longs, but they're working very well in the short games. As long as they stay on track, they've been doing well. But when they get behind in the drive, they struggle.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree with you. We have seen that thus far in this game. And as we get ready to go here for the third quarter, looking at Drew on that touchdown reception to McCarroll. He had both Craze and Hendershot on him.
Man, I tell you what, that's a tough catch to make, but McCarroll uses his power and gets into the end zone. And now I just want to go back for a second, Damon, because this never happens. Greg Gaines, 3 tackles, 1 sack, 2 passes deflected, and 1 interception at the half.
At the half, and he's doing all this in the cornerback.
Yeah, Gaines, I don't think here at the convention, but if he's not, he should be next year because he might be giving Ray Bentley a run for his money in terms of popularity after a game like that.
Absolutely. As of right now, he's in the race for player of the game with the Wildcats.
But you got to win to have the player of the game.
Absolutely.
So
right.
Second half, here we go.
Great Joy ball on the tee, and we have kickoff here in the second half.
Carter was not going anywhere breakaway on the last drive, but couldn't get any there. And TJ not at the SFL convention, but still making an impact, getting on top of the bits leaderboard now. 1,001, just barely jumps on top of Plague 7.
Sounds like TJ had to outdo a guy about one.
His Baltimore Vultures playing later tonight in the 1,000th game, Demond.
Absolutely looking forward to that game, the 1,000 game.
Should be a good one.
Today. Here's King. King winds up big. Oh, he caught it out of bounds. Intended to Simons.
Man, a money ball deep down the field for King. He winded it up, took his shot to start off this second half, and that looks a little bit more like what we're used to seeing from the Wildcats.
Yeah, unfortunately, Simons was unable to stay in bounds.
Would have been a good catch if he could have.
Yeah, you got to know where you are on the field. Well, maybe the pass led him out of bounds.
1,002 for Mello Taylor. The race for bits is on.
TJ topped that baby. Here's a handoff here to Ash Odom. Ash Odom got room. Oh, he's brought down at the 34-yard line after seeing great wide open space there. And he found a hole and he ran right through it.
Yeah, Ash Odom doing his job, making it third and a very manageable 3 from the 34. Now you have your whole weapons arsenal with you, Damon. You can run the ball, you could throw a screen, you could take a deep shot. You can kind of do whatever you want.
There's a far Joker's formation. Here for the ball. Handoff to Odom, and Odom's going to be speared, brought down before he even get to the first down marker.
Like I just said, Damon, you can do anything you want except run the ball. That's what I said, right?
You did say that.
Oh, okay, good.
And Paul Connolly comes up with a great tackle there to stop Ash Odom before picking up that first down. Now they got to settle for the punt.
Yeah, tough break there for the Wildcats. Thought they had a first down already in the bag with a third and manageable, and Charleston's defense tightens the clamps and shuts them down.
There's the punt. And here is Dulake. And Dulake, you would think you would call a fair catch. You got defenders right in your face.
Well, that's not the Dulake way, Demond. He's going to return it.
I mean, you throw that ball, you might not make the team or the bus ride home.
They don't call him Lance Big Play Dulake for nothing. Thanks, Torillo. The one laugh.
The 3 wide receiver set. Swearingen in the backfield by himself. Offset to the left of the quarterback. And Swearingen's going to get the ball. He's hit hard by Craze. My goodness, this linebacker is a heat-seeking missile.
Man, Craze, I tell you what, he's been doing all the work, leading Chicago in tackles. 7 tackles for Blake Craze. The next closest Demond is 4, and that's Clint Hendershot.
Great performance here by the outside linebacker, man. He's just all over the place. Here's strips left for Drew. Ball in the signal, takes a 5-step drop, goes out route down the bottom of the field. That pass is caught by McCarrow.
Man, that throw was in the pocket of Brandon Vesey, and he couldn't make a play on the ball. I mean, it basically grazed his hip pad.
It's a great catch.
Again, here we go, third and manageable. Demond, what do you think? Run, pass?
I say you got to go for a pass here. Although Swearingen is able, or capable, should I say, to pick up the first down here on the ground, but the ground has not been there for him. There's a reception across the middle of the field. What a strike by T.D. Drew. And the receiver gets up, John and pumping hands. And he's super excited at the tight end, Sean Harrelson.
Seam route for Harrelson, and Jesse Vick comes over to make the play. Nice route right up the middle. They've been using the tight end, and I heard Alan talking about Harrelson earlier at the convention here, and he was saying that he's one of their better receivers and one of their better threats in the field. So we'll see if he continues to make a play. That's his second catch, 30 yards on the day so far.
Harrelson comes back out on the field, on the line this time. 3 wide receivers, hands off at the Swearingen. Hit hard right at the line of scrimmage. These 2 linebackers, Hendershot and Craze, is not allowing Swearingen to have the type of performance of a day that he would love to have.
Yeah, definitely has been a struggle for Swearingen so far. Still under 50 yards on the day. And Mr. 23 has sent in 420 bits, Demond, which does not put him anywhere near the leadership pile.
Doesn't put him anywhere near the leadership, but hey, we appreciate it.
For that we do.
Here's Drew going deep, and it's Gaines! It's Gaines! And he gets up and he's running down the sideline, spin move out to the 41-yard line of Chicago. What a play there by Gaines. My goodness.
Greg Gaines, have a day, son. He's been all over the field, makes the interception here. Watch him get up. Look at that vertical. And then untouched is able to get to his feet and get down the field. Look, he's got more rushing yards than Keith Swearingen so far today. Chicago taking over at the 41. That's a big play.
Absolutely. That was probably one of the best defensive plays that Gaines has done all night. Coming away with that interception because his team is down and Charleston were moving the ball.
Very clutch play.
There's a bar spread here for the Wildcats, and Ash Odom is brought down right at the line of scrimmage. And that's not taking anything away from this defense. There's Lance there with the defensive stop on the run by Odom.
Ash Odom must have been a Thanksgiving turkey there, Damon, because he just got stuffed.
He sure did. Right at the line.
Right at the line.
Another handoff. Odom. And Odom is stopped and brought down after picking up 1 yard.
Man, two plays, 1 yard there for Keith Swearingen, and for Ash Odom, excuse me. Jack Brown in on that play. Silent today so far. The 2 tackles for him. We see him in the chat getting involved.
The 4 wide receiver set here now for Chicago. A.T. King in the shotgun formation with Ash Odom to his left. Looks like a 3-2 dime formation for the defense. King takes 1 step, throws the out route to the top of the field, and that pass is complete, but he's not going to have enough to pick up the first down. Out of bounds.
Look out, man, on the sideline. You just got demolished. Torres unable to pick up the first down, got the feet down, though, and now Chicago's going to have to punt. Greg Gaines makes a great play. Chicago can't do anything with it.
Would you say that A.T. King may be a little bothered from the pressure that Charleston was bringing on early on and from the man coverage that they were playing against Chicago?
Oh, definitely.
Just really has just put them in a blender here, and they can't get anything going deep down the field like it was before.
Yeah, E.T. King today, 7 of 12. That's 58% through the air. Not what we're used to seeing from E.T. King. Even when he was in Tallahassee, he was a very accurate quarterback, made some incredible plays. Today it just, I don't know, the special dust has not been there today for E.T. King, and I think it's Charleston bringing the pressure.
Yeah, I will say that it most definitely has to be the pressure from this Charleston defense, and they're doing a pretty good job at it. There's a slot receiver wide open down here to the bottom of the field. Not sure if TD Drew sees it. I'm pretty sure he does. Throws a swing pass to Swearingen, and Swearingen tries a spin move, but oh no, he's all over that one. Picks up 4 yards on that reception, though. Give credit to the tackler.
Man, the receiver there, Damon, definitely got out of the way of the play, but it's not really what you wanted him to do there. I mean, we've seen some receivers be in the way. We've seen him make good blocks, and there he just bailed and left his man alone.
Yeah, Jesse Vick was the tackler on the last play there. Here's a handoff here to Swearingen up the middle of the field, and praise is all over him. And Spurgeon was coming in on the play as well before Craze brought him down.
3rd and 2, manageable here. The question again goes ground or air. Swearingen only averaging 2.7 yards per carry today, Demond. Do you trust him on the ground when you need a clutch 2 yards?
I wouldn't go for a run here. I would go for 90 all slants on this type of field position here. And they're going to give it to Swearingen up the middle, and he picks up the first down and more. What do you know, broadcaster? You don't know anything about football. You just call the plays.
That's why we sit up here in the booth, and Shan, Varner, and Allen are down on the field calling the plays.
Absolutely.
It's a good run. It's a good run up the middle. Found some room, but Blake Craze, I don't know if he's attached at the hip to Keith Swearingen, but he found him again and made the play on him after a couple yards.
Yeah, Craze has just been all over the field. There's a look at Drew. Cover 3 defense here by Chicago in a nickel formation. 2-step drop here by Drew. Drew got the man across the midfield. Oh, what a juke move! Oh, my! What a play! I almost came out of my seat, Andy.
Sean Harrelson, I don't know if he took a dance class in the offseason or what, but he's got a nice little salsa going there, and he was all over the field, making everyone miss. At one point, he was wide open on the bottom side. If he would have just broke that out, might have had a touchdown, but he cut back inside.
Absolutely. Dude showed that he has light feet, and he can be dancing with the stars during the offseason.
Dancing with the gold or silver stars, Damon?
Good question. There's an out route to the top of the field.
Is that
pass is
Swearingen?
caught.
Is that Swearingen on the outside?
Looks like he was out there. He was.
Look at that. An out route from the back. Gets it done. A little bit of a Le'Veon Bell style receiver and running back combo. And look at this. Keeps the feet in bounds, turns upfield, and Greg Gaines has to make the tackle. I mean, who else would have made the tackle?
They're lining this guy up everywhere on the field here now.
Well, that's a good way to get him involved outside of just from the back. I like it, Damon.
I totally agree with you. I don't see nothing wrong with putting the running back out there on the line of scrimmage and have him go out on the routes. If he can run the route tree and catch the ball, send him out there. Oh, there's pressure up the middle. Drew is hit as he was about to get ready to put his foot into the ground and plant and throw. Incomplete pass now, 2nd and 10 for the Charleston Predators here at Chicago's 41-yard line. They're marching down the field, but they got to get into the end zone.
Yeah, he had an undercutting route that was open. He just couldn't get it off quick enough because Chicago was bringing the blitz, and that sets him up for 2nd and 10 here.
4-2 nickel formation. Here it is once again, and there's Swearingen up the middle of the field. Swearingen going to pick up 4 yards.
Swearingen today has been more effective in the pass game than he has the run game, 4.5 yards per reception and a little over 3 yards a carry so far here today, Damon. But I like how they're getting him involved on this drive, trying to keep him moving. That way, when it comes down to it, he can break one off.
TD Drew underneath the center. Swearingen in the backfield. The handoff here to Swearingen once more. And he's brought and met down by Clint Hendershot. Not going to be able to pick up the first down. Not sure why they didn't pass the ball there because
I don't know.
You was 4th and long.
Yeah.
That's something you just don't do.
Yeah, and now Charleston is either going to have to punt or set up for a long field goal. Chicago tried it from the 36 before, and they came up short, and Charleston will decide to punt based off of that from earlier. Low snap.
Dangerous snap.
It's going to bounce at the 10.
Another the 4. Does he stay? Is he going to call him down
They're
at
going
the
to
3?
call him down. Wow, that's a big play. The gunner here is going to wait on it, and then he is able to grab it at the 3 and then slide it. His leg looked in the end zone to me, Damon, but then again, I'm not the referee.
Yeah, that's what R62 does best.
All right, Chicago will be at the 3.
3 wide receivers set. Split back formation here for the Wildcats. The 5-step drop here by King, and King got a receive. Oh, he dropped it! Had it right in the breadbasket, Andy, but he dropped it.
Man, I tell you what, Damon, we've seen that called as a fumble a couple times today, so Chicago better count their blessings because that one just counts as incomplete. Paul Connolly coming up and making the hit on Corey Carter, and the ball pops out, and now it'll be 2nd and 10, and the Wildcats live to fight another day. Just got so silent in here that you could hear the people say break.
I don't know what's wrong with these guys.
The crowd is losing their energy.
They are. Great defensive game here between the Chicago Wildcats and the Charleston Predators. That's a side-on throw by King, and that pass is incomplete. Intended for Varner.
Man, he tries to hit the tight end on a quick little route up the middle, Demond, and almost made it happen, but just couldn't get the ball into his hands. Chicago now 0 for 2 on this drive, and now they're 3rd and 10 from the 3, and the problem is you need all 10 yards, and Chicago has to be careful not to take a sack here.
Yeah, they haven't moved the ball, not even a yard here on this drive. Been at the 3-yard line. There's King on a 5-step drop.
Floater.
Bomb downfield. That pass is intercepted by Charleston.
Holly again.
That's Holly, his 2nd INT of the game. Is that correct?
That is correct. Caledon Holly, 2 tackles, 2 picks today. It's a double move route, and the ball is thrown a little bit too far inside. E.T. King, a little rattled today, doesn't take the sack, but does commit a bad turnover, and Charleston has the ball in good field position.
But if you think about it, King was not pressured at all. I think he jumped the gun on the release there, but maybe the clock was going.
Exactly.
He was
a little nervous.
Absolutely. Thought about the clock in his head, and he's just, as far as what happened early in the game with the pressure from the backers and the D-line, he said, I got to get this thing out of here. That's a pass completion. The top of the field looks like Swearingen again. No, it's not. It's Carroll comes away with that reception. 2nd and 1 now, Andy. Charleston is in good field position. They're at Chicago's 16-yard line.
Right. Maurice Spurgeon in the chat saying it's basically throwing a punt, which he's not wrong. The only problem was it wasn't a great punt. It was a little short.
Absolutely. And the other thing, the flip side about this is that it goes with negative onto the net.
Uh-oh.
There's Swearingen breaking tackles. He's about to pick up the first down. Tackled by Hendershot at the 6 of Chicago.
Hendershot, the last guy who had an opportunity to bring him down. Swearingen breaks through here. Look at the blocking, well sealed on the edge, and if Hendershot doesn't make that tackle, Swearingen might still be dancing in the end zone now.
I totally agree with you, man. It's like Hendershot recovered from somewhere, came out of nowhere, and just made that saving tackle. 1st and goal at Chicago's 6-yard line is the Predators. 3 wide receiver sets, Swearingen offset. Here's a handoff into the halfback. Up the middle. Craze comes up with the tackle. There's a little shove there by Swearingen. I mean, not Swearingen, Sprogian.
Maurice with the shove there. 2nd and goal from the 4. I get it, Damon. Talking is hard sometimes. And now from the 4, Charleston still has a couple opportunities to try and punch it in.
My apologies. There's a handoff here to Swearingen, and he gets the...
Someone scored. The ball's in the end zone. The Predators have put points on the board in the crowd here at the convention. I don't know whether they were clapping for you or Keith there, Damon, but either way, 6 for Charleston, and the Predators are back in the end zone.
I think they was clapping for the halfback who got into the end zone. As he crosses Hollywood Boulevard, comes up with 6 more points for the Charleston Predators here.
So Charleston, that's 2 drives in a row, 2 scores that they've put on the board, and Chicago has struggled ever since that big play earlier in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely, and they just haven't been able to get things going offensively. This is not the Chicago team that we come to see to start this season. They've been putting up big points all season long, and you got to give credit to this Charleston defense. They saw something that they figured out that could work, and it's basically working here versus the Chicago offense.
Yeah, and really it's been pressuring on E.T. King, and he has struggled today. 7 of 15 for 140 yards, no touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. He has been rattled by the Charleston front 7 as well as the secondary. They are bringing the heat and covering it on the back end.
Here's Carter on the return.
Uh-oh.
Carter got his daylight. 1 man to beat. Carter's down the sideline. The 20 brought down at the 10. Unable to get into the end zone. But what a great return by Carter, and this could be just a spark, Andy Hamilton, that Chicago needed.
Yeah, I think the crowd at the convention really wanted that one to go, and it didn't. But the thing is, Chicago is at the 10. They do have the opportunity to still put points on. Look at Big 78 there. He's not directly blocking anyone. He's just kind of in the way of everyone, which is great. Carter gets down the end, but he can't get away from the last man to beat, which turned out, Damon, to be number 45, Jack Hoffman.
I think the Predators, who are here at the convention, their fan club wanted Carter to get in the end zone as well. They was up on their feet.
Hey, a great return's a great return, Damon.
Absolutely, you can't deny it. There's another handoff here to Odom, and Odom's going to be stopped in the backfield, losing 2 yards.
And the other thing that Charleston can do now that E.T. King is a little rattled is they can favor the run plays a little bit more on the defensive side. They can expect to see more of Ash Odom as E.T. King struggles, and what that does is it forces King to throw more, which then forces more shakiness. So it's a cycle where Chicago has to get a break somewhere on the offensive side.
Zachary Bates came up from the free safety position to come up with that tackle, and there's another handoff to Odom, and Odom is stopped once more. This time at the line of scrimmage, and that is Brandon Haight. I think that's the first time we called in Haight's name besides since the first quarter today.
Yeah, I think you saw him on the field once and called his name, but other than that, he's been relatively silent. I believe that's just his second tackle.
5 wide receiver set here now for Chicago. Inside of the red zone at Charleston's 12-yard line from that great return. Here's King. King gets pressured, and he's brought down. Oh, my, what a play by the defense of Charleston. And that's the end of the third quarter, people. Put your 4s in the sky.
And the chat.
and in the chat. Put your fours up. Take a look at our sponsors here tonight. Simulation Football League broadcast on Twitch is brought to you by Nation Best Football, helping NFL, college, high school, and youth players to help #secure the bag. By ScoreStream, official live scoring app of the SFL. By Sector 6, custom esports jerseys and apparel, and the exclusive SFL shop provider. And Spygo, dedicated to the craft of audio. Arrow Shots brought to you by AirViews, United by Drone. Visit airviews.com to see more drone footage.
Well, a long field goal attempt for the Wildcats here, a 36-yarder. They have missed a long one so far, 0 for 1 on the day. Let's hope for their sake they can get this one in.
Let's see what happens here. And there's a snap. It was a low snap, Andy, but he gets it off, and it's right down the middle, 36-yarder. And there's Jesus Garcia.
Yeah, Garcia knocks it through. It makes it a 7-point game, which is good for Chicago and good to break the difference, Damon, between them having drives that come up empty and Charleston putting points on the board. The only problem is, though, Corey Carter was streaking to the end zone and points left off the board.
Yeah, points left off the board is not great.
No, not what you want.
As most people would say, he left meat on the bone.
Is that what they say?
That's what they say.
Okay.
When you don't pick up yards you're supposed to or scores you're supposed to, they say you left meat on the bone.
Well, I ate chicken wings for lunch, Damon. No meat was left on those things. I just want you to know. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There were no bones left either. They were boneless.
Shane Varner said that the wings was boneless.
They are. They were.
3 wide receiver set, halfback to the left of the QB, Drew. Here's a handoff here to Swearingen. Swearingen picks up 3 yards before bringing down by the Craze once again. How many tackles does this guy have?
I can tell you exactly. He has 12 now, Demond. Craze has been all over the field, and I'm pretty sure all 12 of them are on Keith Swearingen. I don't know if Shan taped his eyes open with nothing but a picture of 32 in front of him all week or what.
Must have. 3 wide receiver set here for the Predators. Crowd is a little quiet. There's an out route, down the route in the field. Going to be caught, but it's out of bounds. It's Carroll on the reception, but not in bounds. 3rd and 7.
Chicago looking for a break here. This would be a good play to get off the field with, especially after just converting for points. It would give you the opportunity to tie the game on the next drive, but first they have to stop this 3rd and 7 from the 32.
Here's a trips right. And it looks like Harrison is up to the top of the field by himself. There's a play action play. Drew got Harrison. First down.
Well, the play action, Demond. We see it sometimes in the SFL, and it works there on the out route to Harrelson. The tight end gets open and finds the first down yardage that Charleston needed to move the chains.
Yeah, great play there. Great call on the play action.
Absolutely.
As much as they have ran the ball today, the play action could have brought the linebackers up and opened up the middle of the field, but instead the outside on that out route was wide open.
Yeah.
Another trips right here for Drew. Once they drop, throws a start, calls the middle of the field, and that pass is caught. And that is by Dulake.
Man, Dulake, I don't know what he did in the week prior that Allen liked in the practice field, but he's given him plenty of reps here and makes it a 2nd and manageable 3. And this is a play caller's dream, Damon, because you could go deep on 2nd and 3 and still have that 3rd and manageable in your back pocket.
Absolutely. Swearingen to the right. In the backfield, and off to the halfback, and he puts on the spin move, but he's brought down. And on that tackle was number 23, Brandon Vesey.
Yeah, Vesey making the play on Swearingen, and it's a good play. And for once, Demond, it wasn't Craze or Hendershot tackling Swearingen. I don't know if the 2 linebackers are getting tired or what, but Swearingen picks up the first down.
The 1st and 10 here for the Predators. The handoff into the halfback once again up the middle of the field, and Craze is on him. I think what Charleston should do is they should start running the ball towards the outside more instead of right up the middle, because Chicago has been in this 4-2 nickel, and both linebackers are sitting right there.
Yeah, some type of power or stretch play would work really well against this defense in Chicago, but so far, Charleston hasn't run one of them today. We'll see if they change that.
Another handoff right up the middle, and look who's on the play. Hendershot and Craze once more on the tackle.
Man, if the combination ain't broke, Chicago's not going to try and fix it. Another 3rd and 7.
And Charleston really has to get something going here because they're at Chicago's 46-yard line. If they put it, it will pin the Wildcats deep, but you want to get this first down to keep this drive going and keep this wearing down on this defense.
They're in the bunch again, Damon.
They love this bunch. The play action play looks like the same one when they got the first down last time, and they get the first down again. Oh my, what a shot that the receiver took.
It's Jesse Vick with a hard hit on Shea Carroll. Vick maybe a little frustrated that they keep giving up the first down play, and now Chicago is letting Charleston drive on them. They're going to have to start shutting something down because time is wasting away, Damon.
There's a 5-step drop here by TD Drew. Drew throws a corner route. Their pass is caught. Broken tackle. Touchdown, Charleston! And look who it is. It's Shea Carroll as he crosses Hollywood Boulevard.
Shea Carroll, what a play, a one-on-one opportunity here on the outside. It's actually on Jesse Vick there, and Vick jumps but can't get a play, and then Carroll, I don't know if he's covered in bacon grease or what, but Jesse Vick can't bring him down. He squirts through and is able to find the end zone, and Charleston adds to their lead.
Great route there. I know you saw those crossing routes by the two receivers, which actually broke Carroll free.
Still plenty of time on the clock, though, for Chicago, but for Charleston, it's good to see them continue to drive down. They actually have had more drives than Chicago today, the 12 to Chicago's 11, and ran 30 more plays, Dylan.
Wow, that means that they're actually eating up the clock.
Exactly.
They're staying on the field longer than Chicago's offense is, and you can only imagine how tired this defense is for Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago's defense has struggled today, and Charleston will put it back on the tee, send it back to Chicago. The lead is again 14.
Here's Charleston set to kick the ball off back to the Wildcats offense, and the offensive line for Chicago really got to start getting some great blocks.
Sure.
To get King the time that he needs for these open field plays, downfield plays, shall I say, that he loves to throw, because today he's just not has been able to have the time to get the throws off, besides that one time that one pass we saw deep down the middle of the field in the first quarter.
Yeah, and E.T. King needs to find some receivers who can get the job done other than J.C. Torres. Corey Carter, no catches today. Buchanan Simons, just the one. Shan Varner, just the one. Torres is the only receiver with more than one catch.
Here's King now in the shotgun formation. Throws a bomb corner route. Got a receiver! Look who it is! It's none other than Torres, the 10-5 Hollywood Boulevard! Here I come!
Well, like we said, Demond, us broadcasters know nothing about football, and I said they should feed anyone but Torres, and so what do? They go right to Torres, and he finds himself in the end zone. Corner route, just beats the defender, and then he's not going to get caught a second time. There's no other receiver in his way this time. He is in the end zone, and Chicago strikes quick. That's what we talked about, Damon. Plenty of time left. No need to panic. Chicago strikes right away, and that's the one thing with this offense that Chicago has, is that they have the opportunity and the playmakers to hit on any play.
You're absolutely right there, Andy. I mean, this is a high-power offense, and they can strike at any time, as you just stated there. And as we just saw, they proved us wrong by sticking it with Torres, because maybe he's the only one who's getting open.
Yeah, and TJ Kaggs in the chat says that he got a notice from his phone, Demond, and there is heavy traffic on Hollywood Boulevard today.
Ooh, buddy.
I might have to try and find an alternate route to get to my destination. 7 minutes to go, though. Still an eternity. I mean, we saw in the first game between Chicago and Vancouver, the 2-minute warning and down can last an hour and a half if you need it, too. So these two teams are loading up their guns for the shootout.
Here's the lake here on the return. There's a spin move. Tackled and brought down at the 29-yard line of Charleston. See if Charleston can get things going here on this drive. Eat up more clock. That's what we saw them do all game long. I guess this is the best way to beat the Chicago team is beat them by winning the clock.
Yeah, they've gained 29 first downs, which actually to their 70 plays, Damon, is actually an incredible percentage.
That is, and Drew goes deep, but Drew comes up short. There's an INT for Vic, and that's his first of the day.
Man, I tell you what, when you are having trouble on the other side with Greg Gaines, you got to choose the lesser of the two evils, and that's Jesse Vick. They try and pick on him there, and Jesse Vick is there to make the play. Chicago has the ball back quickly. Like I said, Damon, what was it when Charleston scored? 7:27. It's now 7:07. They are 7 points away and have the ball back at the 47.
Oh, my goodness. Here's looks like a far Joker's here now for the Wildcats. They're going to hand off here to Ash Odom, and right up the middle, picks up 5 yards on that carry.
Chicago has run 41 plays and had 16 first downs. They're averaging 7 yards per first down play, which means that, you know, they're getting behind in a lot of these drives and having to come up with big plays.
Brandon Tackle was the guy that brought down Odom. 3 wide receivers set here now for E.T. King. There's a 2-step drop here by King. Goes an out route down to Torres, and Torres makes the reception. 3rd and 2 now.
Yeah, Demond, and this isn't great for Chicago. Some great stats from Stephen Hacker. If this is accurate, Chicago is actually 0 of 7 on 3rd down so far today. Has not converted one, so they would be putting the first footprint on the moon if they can cross the first down marker on this 3rd and 2.
I love that analysis. 3 wide receivers set here. Shane Bonner is on the line of scrimmage at tight end. Ash Odom goes out on the route, throws an out route to the top of the field. Oh, my! What a great coverage play by the cornerback.
Kaladin Holly has been all over the field today. One of the better plays in the secondary I have seen in the SFL. I mean, did you see that closing speed there, Damon?
That closing speed was great. My goodness, he closed in on the ball so fast and was able to make the deflection on the play from behind the guy without touching him and converting a pass interference call.
He closed on that ball quicker than Ray Bentley closes on the kitchen when you tell him you got pizza rolls on deck.
I love it. There's a bounce inside the 5. Going to down it at the 3.
Oh, what a play.
What a play by the special teams.
Malcolm Perrin, a good punt, and the Chicago special teams pin the Predators deep. And it'll be interesting here because now Chicago can button down, force the Predators maybe into an errant throw, and their secondary has been lights out today, Damon.
Here's the Charleston Predators coming out onto the field at the 3-yard line. Swearingen in the backfield all by himself. 3 wide receiver sets. There's a handoff here to Swearingen up the middle of the field. What a move to put. Oh, my goodness. What a read to see it right up the middle. Headed towards the outside, brought it back inside, and Craze comes again with another tackle.
That was one of the better runs from Swearingen all day. His long of the day is 10, Damon, so that 7 was pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably 50. 30.
And Hendershot getting in the backfield to tackle him there. Craze has 14 tackles to Swearingen's 30 runs, so that's nearly half of them. Hendershot then makes up for another 8, so you can math that.
Yeah, these linebackers are a great group of linebackers here in the league, and they're showing why with their tackles that they're not allowing Swearingen to beat them on the ground.
Chance to get off the field here.
Absolutely. 3rd and 3. Here's Drew on a 7-step drop. Got a man downfield. That pass is completed. My goodness, what a dart he threw to Ken McCarro. Nice reception, young man.
Man, right in front of the veteran safety, Maurice Spurgeon. TD Drew just fires this ball in on the slant route. Spurgeon makes the hit. Vic was actually dropped deep in a 3-deep coverage. Spurgeon was the up man, couldn't make a play on the ball. It's a good catch for McCarro. Moves the chains for the Predators, their 8th 3rd down conversion.
Looks like Spurgeon thought that they were going to hand it off to Swearingen, had his eyes in the backfield. Drew decided to go deep. Got a man. No! Great defensive play there by Maurice Spurgeon.
Well, if you don't get him on one play, Damon, you buckle your chin strap and you go get him on the next one. Maurice Spurgeon makes the play on Carroll there along with Jesse Vick.
Yeah, decided not to allow the offense to fool him again, but it was first down, so I guess he decided he could play back into coverage and not allow himself to peek into the backfield and mostly focus on his assignments. 3 wide receiver set once again here for the Charleston Predators. Swearingen right behind QB TD Drew. There's another handoff here, and my goodness, he's tackled after picking up 1 yard. This time, the veteran Spurgeon, look at, he's happy he got a tackle.
His 7th of the day, so Spurgeon has been all over the field. But I tell you what, Damon, this is the play of the game right here. 3rd and 9 with around 4 minutes to go. Chicago down by 7. If their defense can get them off the field, this will be incredible.
3 wide receiver set. I've been saying 3 wide receiver set all day long. Swearingen in the backfield all by himself. Single back formation, 1-step drop. Oh, no.
Wow.
Throws an out route to the top of the field, and that pass is going to be completed, but it's not enough, McCarroll. You got to get past the sticks, baby.
Man, I tell you what, Damon, coming into that play, Charleston was 60% on 3rd down conversion. That time they didn't get it. Chicago was able to lock them down, get the ball back for the offensive unit. Now it's time to go put points on the board.
It's big when your defense can step up and force the punt there in this crucial situation where that Chicago is down by 7 points. Here with 4th and 7 to go on the play, but Charleston's going to punt it away with 4:08 left on the clock. Here's the return man here for Chicago. He's going to receive the punt, but he's going to be brought down as soon as he catches it.
Still 3 timeouts for the Wildcats, so if you can move or lose the ball efficiently, you can technically get the ball back for one last drive later in the contest. But you'd like to take 4 minutes off the clock on this drive and just go score a touchdown.
There's a look at Haight calling out the play. This time Charleston is playing off. No pressure by the defense at all. They do bring an extra man on the line, and there's a pass caught here at the bottom of the field.
First catch for Corey Carter of the day.
My goodness! He's such a phenomenal return guy. You would think that he would have been more active in the passing game as well.
Well, what a receiving target to leave unthrown to all day. I mean, come on.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to take advantage of that. Here's Sam Lance numbers: 3 sacks and 4 tackles.
Lance has been all over the field, and let's see if he makes an impact later in this game.
2nd and 5, 3 minutes and 57 seconds left on the clock. King takes
Pressure.
a 7-step drop. He gets pressured, and he's brought down. They're going to go narrow huddle here. Hurry up offense. 3rd and 14 now for the Wildcats. Three wide receivers set. I formation. Guess you can call it I spread, I form spread. King calling the numbers. 7-step drop once again. Step
Myers.
up. There's a big arm. And he got Torres again. Torres breaks the tackle. Breaks another. Hollywood Boulevard. Torres makes some noise, baby.
Wow. Man, I tell you what, J.C. Torres sent the convention into a frenzy. I have never seen more grown men lose their life in one room at a single time. Look at all these broken tackles as J.C. Torres goes over 245 yards on the day, his 2nd touchdown. That is a grown-ass man, Damond.
That was an awesome play. Not uno broken tackle, not dos broken tackle, but tres.
Man, I tell you what, I have no words. That's the first time in my life I have no words.
I'm with you. I've never seen a receiver break 3 tackles on his way to the end zone.
Well, and I tell you what, if they make this extra point, it's a brand new game.
Absolutely.
0-0.
And there it is, Andy. The extra point is good. 7 points on the board for Chicago Wildcats, and Torres, his 3rd touchdown of the day.
Man, and I was this close, Damon, to saying once he took that sack on the last drive that maybe they should just throw it out route or something, kick the ball back. That way they would have time for one last drive. Boy, was I wrong.
It's 3 minutes and 27 seconds left in this game here, and man, it has turned into a good one. The 2-0 Chicago Wildcats has decided to come from behind. Oh, what a hit there on the return guy, DeLake, at the 26-yard line.
Nate Drizzle in the chat has subscribed. I believe that's his first subscription. Thank you, Nate. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Nate, for the subscription, buddy.
Well, 3:23 to go, Damon. 1st and 10, 24 all. All the chips are in the middle. It's an all-in situation, and one of these teams is going to walk away with all the money.
Keep your eye on Harrison to the top of the field. Trips right here now for the Predators. There's a two-step drop here by Drew. There's Charleston. It's Harrison once again. Got that reception. Picks up 7 on that catch.
Right in front of Shan Varner, and I'm pretty sure he maybe tried to poke him in the side, get him a little bit off his game at a pivotal point in the game. Harrelson and Varner go way back.
Look at the two owners up front for Chicago and Charleston.
Stressed as ever.
Absolutely.
I've been in that hot seat, Damon.
Sweating like they're in the sauna when they're not.
It's not great.
Trips left here for Drew. There's Harrison down to the bottom. He goes on a fade route, dumps it off. Oh, what a play. What a spin move. Picks up the first down and more.
Man, I tell you what, Damon, for Drew, I don't know if that was the first read. I don't know if it was the second or the third read. I think that might have been the last read on that play, but he checks it down quickly, and they pick up the first down, keep this drive rolling.
Absolutely. May not have been the first or second, but it was the best read because it did pick up the first down, as you just stated. 2:52 left. Here's a handoff here to Swearingen. Swearingen is brought down after picking up 4 yards on the carry.
So at the 43, clock continuing to roll here. Interesting that Chicago, they're almost holding the Predators at bay, but also giving them almost a little too much. You'd like to see them get off the field here and get the ball back for their offense. Otherwise, I don't know where we might end up with this game, Damon.
Absolutely. In these crunch situations, you would expect the defense to play a whole lot more pressure here in these terms. And there's Swearingen gets another handoff, and he's hit by Craze once more.
Interesting mark on that. They're marking it at 3rd and 4. It looked like more of a 3rd and 1 or 2 situation.
I agree with you.
I don't know what the Stripes are seeing, but it's favoring Chicago here on this pivotal 3rd down play late in the game. And I don't know if they're going to snap it. They might just let this one go to the 2-minute warning.
1 second left on the clock. He's going to take advantage of it. Got him in. Oh! Where did he come from? Number 33, A.J. Barnes with the INT.
Man, Barnes came out of nowhere. Look at this deep drop. It's a good route, and Barnes just picks the pocket of the receiver, Sean Harrelson, and now Chicago, under the 2-minute warning, just has to go score.
And I think it was Charleston being greedy there, not allowing the 2-minute warning to go ahead and take place.
Yeah, they definitely should have just let it roll.
But Harrison was wide open.
He was
wide open. You got to give a great a great athletic play by Barnes there. There's a handoff here to Ash Odom. Ash Odom is brought down at the 1-yard loss.
And now they're
1
going
minute
hurry
and 50 seconds left ticking. Here on the clock. Like a 3-3 nickel defense. 7-step drop here by King. Oh, he got a reception.
Wow, a diving attempt, but what a catch from Buchanan Simons. He's celebrating on the Charleston bench. He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
Great play there by Simons there to come away with that reception because it could have been deflected, and he could have allowed the defender to.
Could have been a pick, too.
Absolutely. It could have allowed the defender to make him lose his concentration, but that did not happen. Here's a handoff here to Odom up the middle of the field. Odom's going to pick up 4 yards on that carry.
Damon, they missed a field goal earlier in the game. I think they need another 5 or 10 yards to feel comfortable sending out the kicker, Jesus Garcia, to win this football game. But they're letting the clock roll. I don't know. I would like to see a little more urgency from the Wildcats.
In this case here, right now, you're looking at probably about a 52-yarder. There's he fumbled the ball! Picked up by Charleston defense. My goodness. This one here would not be challenged because he made a football move after he caught the ball, Andy Hamilton.
I expect a booth review no matter what. That is I don't know, he sure has his hands on the ball there, Damon. That looks like a Charleston football late in this game. It was recovered there by Connolly after Simons. I mean, he was wide open on the slant route.
Wide open, man, and he just coughed it up.
The Predators now 47 seconds. All 3 timeouts have their chance to go down the field. They got a little bit more length to go, though.
47 seconds left here on the ticker. Simons is on the sideline, praying for the defense to come up with something big here. TD Drew underneath the center, calling the signals, takes a one-step drop, dumps it off to Swearingen in the flat. Swearingen's going to pick up about 5 yards on the play. Taking it 10, but he did make the clock stop by stepping out of bounds, Andy Hamilton.
Did get out of bounds. That's the important part. You know, you can pick up any amount of yardage, but the clock is really your enemy here. You know, you can kick a long field goal. We've seen a couple Hail Marys in SFL history, but if that clock is sitting at 0, you're in trouble.
You're absolutely right there, Andy Hamilton. There's a look at Vic. Vic play. Oh, this defense is playing off. About 12 yards off from the line of scrimmage. There's another screen pass to Swearingen. Swearingen cuts it back inside. Going to force a timeout by this Charleston offense.
Short of the first down. I know it doesn't make a huge difference, but it does make Charleston use one of their timeouts. They're down to 2 at their own 39-yard line, Damon. Still a long way to go to get into field goal range. Neither of these teams have a star kicker, so you're really just rolling the dice.
Absolutely. It's 3rd and inches here now for Charleston. Wonder if they're going to run it or if they're going to throw the ball here.
52% on 3rd down.
TD Drew takes a 2-step drive, dumps it off across the middle. Got the first down. They're going to go no huddle offense here now, Andy.
Yeah, that was a good route, but let's see what they have in this playbook formation.
Taking too long. 23 seconds now. There's a snap, 1-step drop, throws across the middle of the field, got a first down.
Caught down to the 44. There's a timeout from Charleston. From here, it would be a 60-yarder, so they're still about 10 yards away from even attempting a field goal. This is pivotal here for Chicago's defense. They absolutely need to come up with a play, and they do have some secondary members who have made some plays, but a couple of them have gone silent. Haven't heard much from Greg Gaines lately.
Right, ever since that last interception he had, but give it up for Charleston because they're doing exactly what you need to do. Right behind those linebackers, they're getting open or right underneath them. Oh, my! What an athletic attempt there. The receiver comes away with that reception. Get out of bounds. It's delayed. What a big play by the non-contract player.
They get 10. It'll be a 50-yarder if they wanted to attempt it. And you know what? I like the diving attempt from Brandon Vesey. Here's why. If he makes that pick, we go to overtime. If he knocks the ball down, they are outside of field goal range. The attempt here from 50, it's a good move.
There's 12 seconds left on the clock. Andy Hamilton, and they're going to go for this 50-yarder. To be exact. Stephen Greyjoy, let's see what you got, baby. There's a snap. The hold is down. The kick is up. Right down the middle. No! We're going to OT.
Hey, don't count your blessings before they hatch, Damon. 8 seconds left on this clock.
You're right.
Chicago has all 3 timeouts. And from 50 yards, the play from Brandon Vesey on the play before to try and attack the ball pays off for the Wildcats defense. They get the stop. Charleston rolls the dice a little bit early. They still have a timeout. Why not give Swearingen a 1-yard run up the middle and make it just that much easier?
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
All right, Chicago's got 2 attempts at it, Damon. Could they walk it off?
They're now in a 4-wide receiver set. No tight ends on the play. Ash Odom in the backfield as he's going to stay in a block. 3-3 nickel defense here for the Charleston Predators. A.T. King in the shotgun formation. Takes a 1-step jump. What are you doing? Dumps it off to the halfback. Maybe they just want to play it safe and go into OT.
Well, they took the timeout here. What I think they might be trying to do is get the ball closer up the field because you might have a 70-yard touchdown play or some play that goes 40 or 50 yards down the field. But any yardage you can get closer to the end zone is going to help you in the long run. You know what I mean?
You're absolutely right.
And you never know, dumping it off to the halfback, if Charleston sends everyone deep to guard the end zone, you might be able to pick up 30 yards and dip out of bounds with 1 second left.
Yeah.
Here we go, Hail Mary.
There's a Hail Mary formation now for the offense. 4 wide receivers to the left of King.
Everyone's stressed here.
And Varner stays in the block. There's a pump fake by King. Steps up in the pocket. Winds up the big arm. No, it's incomplete. Overtime, here we come.
Put your 5s up.
Everyone put your 5s up. The 5th quarter is about to begin.
I hope everyone at home can hear the convention crowd. They are all excited about it. Both Shan and Allen need to go get a breath of fresh air before we kick off this overtime period. Both Shan and Allen have literally left the room for the coin toss. They're gone. So Chicago has won the toss, Damon. They're going to start with the ball, and in SFL overtime, that's what you want. First to score wins in the SFL, and the Wildcats are going to roll the dice on their offensive unit.
First overtime today at the SFL second annual convention.
Short kick.
Here's Carter here. Carter almost attempts a spin move. Nothing doing there. Down at Chicago's 28-yard line, where A.T. King is going to come out with troops and try to take over this game and seal the victory.
Yeah, King has really came on later in this game. 14 of 23 for E.T. King, 60% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, the 3 interceptions. Really, it's all about J.C. Torres. Whatever he does here, over 240 yards for him. The next closest receiver is 32 for Buchanan Simons.
Oh, my goodness. Here's a 5-step drop here by King. King throws an out route, got his receiver. It's none other than Torres once again. The man of the hour comes away with the first down.
J.C. Torres over 250 yards receiving today. His 8th catch, and he gets out of bounds, and that's a great play. Moves him up to the 39. 24 all. Both teams very stressed as both Shan and Allen have returned from their breath outside.
Single back right now for Ash Odom and the Chicago Wildcats. Both tight ends goes out on a pass, dumps it off to Odom, and Odom dropped it in the flats. Now he's upset with himself.
Well, and I tell you what, Damon, not necessarily known as a receiving back, but he's made a couple catches out of the backfield, 2 on the day, but can't get his hands around that one, and it brings up 2nd and 10. And everything in overtime seems amplified. Every drop is important, and I think Ash Odom knows that.
I must say that I agree with you. Hard jokers here. A.T. King throws to Torres once again. Across the middle of the field. My goodness, this young man is putting on a show.
Yeah. 3rd and 1, Damon. What are you doing? Ash Odom is averaging 2.8 yards per catch. If you're Shan Varner, are you calling a run or a pass here?
If I'm not going to call a run, I'm calling 90-yard slants.
Shan says it's a run. We'll see what this formation will bring. 3-3 look out of Charleston.
It's like an ISO too. Ash Odom up the middle of the field, picks up the first down.
Chicago moves the chains, and that is actually their first 3rd down conversion of the game, DeMond.
Wow.
First 3rd down conversion of the game, and it doesn't come till overtime.
Bad offense. Great defense. Just joking. 3 wide receiver set here for A.T. King. Bar formation on the halfback. Here's a 5-step drop by King. King throws a corner out to Torres. Oh, no, it's not Torres. This time, it's the Buchanan Simons comes away with that awesome catch.
When I tell you what, E.T. King didn't give up on him. Buchanan Simons has been thrown to 8 times. That is his 4th catch, has only caught 50% of the throws going his way, but E.T. King finds him in a clutch moment, and now they're in the red zone, Damon.
Hey, they can end it here with a field goal if they like, but they're going to go ahead and see if they can get inside the end zone.
Got to protect the rock.
Got to protect it. I was just going to say that no INTs here. Here's King on a 2-step drop, throws it in the flats to Odom, and Odom's going to be tackled for a yard loss there.
Yeah, and if you're Chicago, you don't want to go the opposite way of the end zone. You want to try and run the ball forward, pick up a couple yards, maybe make the field goal easier. Again, it is first score wins, so it doesn't matter whether it's 3 or 7.
3 wide receivers set here now for the Wildcats. Bar formation of the halfbacks. Once again, there's a handoff here to Odom. Odom's going to pick up more than 5 yards there. Or exactly 5 yards.
It'll be 3rd and 5 from the 13, and it'll be interesting to see what they do here on 3rd and 5, Damon. Do they settle it and run the ball, or are they going to kick it?
I think you got to run it here. They're going to kick it. I think I would have ran the ball.
All right, why not? Why not?
Yeah,
it's what is it from here? A 30, 40 yard, 35-yarder?
This is going to be a 30-yarder.
30-yard attempt for the win, Garcia.
There's a snap. The kick is up right down the middle, and it's
good.
The Chicago Wildcats come from behind on a scare by the Charleston Predators and comes away with the victory. And Chicago's going to move on to 3-0. Andy Hamilton and Charleston is going to fall down to 1-2.
Yeah, well, it did not come without adversity. Chicago found themselves down early in the game. E.T. King, an abysmal QBR, but he fights from the grave, revives his team, and the Wildcats live to see 3-0. Damon, what a game!
What an awesome game, man. Talk about overcoming adversity by the Chicago Wildcats. Did not allow the Charleston Predators to take advantage of the time of possession, in which they did. 28 to 17 minutes is won by Charleston, but Chicago decided we're going to dig deep, find something within inside of us, and we're going to come back from behind.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about the player of the game. I think it's got to be either Greg Gaines, Blake Craze, or J.C. Torres. Craze, 16 tackles, 1 pass deflection. Gaines, 5 tackles, 1 sack, 2 pass deflections, 2 picks. And then J.C. Torres, 268 yards on 9 catches and 2 touchdowns. Damon, your thoughts?
I'm thinking J.C. Torres comes away with that one. This guy was just the number 1 receiver the entire game. Yep. And it was hard for the cornerbacks and along with the safeties to contain this guy.
Right. Well, and you got to think, Damon, if Buchanan Simons doesn't get in the way on that first deep ball, is it 3 touchdowns for Torres? He was a monster today in the deep game. Chicago benefited from him, and ultimately he definitely made an impact on their win.
Yeah, he was the man of the hour today, and there's a look at him going across Hollywood Boulevard here on the Jumbotron. So we're looking at the game highlights.
There's Vic getting up and making the interception. I mean, what a play to be down by 7 and make a pick in that situation.
And as you mentioned, it could be the player of the game, could be one of these defensive guys. As what we saw the performance from Gaines.
Yep. And a good point in the chat. Blake Craze and Clint Hendershot combined for 30 tackles. Keith Swearingen ran the ball 33 times. So 3 runs by Swearingen were not tackled by either Craze or Hendershot.
My goodness. Those guys.
Talk about good game planning on the defensive side for the best back in the SFL, who ended up with 98 yards and a touchdown.
Wow. Awesome linebacker performance by those two. Outstanding individuals.
Yeah, both teams fought back and forth. It was a well-played game. Both quarterbacks up over 60% completions. Both end with 2 touchdowns, but TD drew the 4 interceptions, E.T. King the 3, and Chicago got the ball first in overtime.
Yeah, Chicago did did exactly what any team would love to do in overtime, is march the ball downfield.
Yeah.
Be the first team to score, so that way you come out here with the victory.
And another important point, Damon. Let's talk about that fumble late in the 4th when Chicago was driving to potentially win the game. I think, the SFL gods may have looked down as J.C. Torres is your player of the game and said to Chicago, hey, you guys deserve the win after the fumble and all the situations you've been through, the adversity of climbing back, and then ultimately they finish off with the dub.
Yeah. Also, the 4 interceptions that was thrown by TD Drew basically had something to do with it as well.
So Chicago improves, Charleston falls. And that's all for us at the SFL convention.
Absolutely. I'm your play-by-play commentator today, Damon Simeon. Alongside me was
Andy Hamilton.
And we're signing out. Peace. See you later.